Hey everyone, it's Robert Evans. Did you see that Sony just extended its Pro Services membership for 6 months? If you're a Sony shooter and you're not a Pro Service member and you want to know what that is, stay tuned because I'm about to tell you. So what is Sony Pro Services? Did you guys know that Sony has a Pro Service membership that basically professional and semi-professional photographers, it allows you to send in your cameras and get them repaired within 3 days. Anyway, let's not jump ahead. Let me just show you. So some of the benefits for Pro Services members, this is sort of the bullet points. You get 24/7 email and phone support, 3-day turnaround time. There's walk-in service center locations in New York and in Los Angeles. Also, on-site support at select major Sony events and free shipping. So let me just get into these. So the one question that everybody always wants to know, well, how much is it? So let's get that out of the way. So it's $100 per year, but what you get is pretty amazing. I mean, in my opinion, it's really worth it for $100 a year. Okay, let's look at eligibility. So who is eligible to join Pro Support? Any individual in the United States or the District of Columbia, and you must be 18 years of age. You need to be a professional or self-employed individual or an employee of a professional imaging business. Sony tries to keep it to the professional photographers. However, if you consider yourself a semi-professional, but you don't have a business, I would encourage you to apply because Sony does make exceptions. They do want you to own a minimum of 2 Sony full-frame cameras with interchangeable lenses purchased from an authorized Sony dealer, and you own a minimum of 3 Sony lenses also purchased from an authorized Sony dealer. Okay, next. How long does it take when you send your equipment in and it's under warranty, and Sony warranties all their products, again, when it's purchased from an authorized Sony dealership or from Sony themselves, 5 years. So everything you purchase is 5 years. And so how long does that take? So if it's verified that your product is still under warranty, the eligible and expected turnaround time for repair is 3 days. You may need to allow a little time for shipping. Like I mentioned, it's free. So one of the many benefits of being a Sony Pro Support member is there's no out-of-pocket shipping expenses. So how does that work when you're sending it there? You contact the center, they verify it, and then they send you a shipping label and you send the lens to them or a camera, whatever it may be. Okay, so what's included in the product clean and check maintenance? Now you get 2 of these a year as part of your membership, but what they do is they check the manual and autofocus. They verify your white balance. They verify the steady shot. They inspect all the ports. They do any firmware updates, which is really great. I know I've done some of my own and it's a little nerve-wracking when I do them. If you're not comfortable doing the firmware upgrades, you can send it to them. But they'll inspect and clean your sensor, which I think is what most people want. They'll inspect and clean your mirror. They'll inspect and clean the focusing screen, inspect and clean your viewfinder, clean your external camera body, clean the external lenses, clean the external lens optics, and clean the external lens barrels. And again, free shipping back to you. And here's another bonus. If this takes longer than 3 days and you really need equipment to complete your job, they will send you loaner equipment free of charge. So they do it on a case-by-case basis, but the equipment is loaned to you while they're fixing your product. And another benefit, what if your product is out of warranty? One of the benefits of being a Sony Pro Support member is that you get 20% off on parts and labor for your out-of-warranty repairs. If you're not really sure if your product's under warranty, then you can contact Sony and they'll check serial numbers and you can see where you are. And another great benefit, if you've ever been or plan on in the future going to a public event where Sony's there, these images are from the WPPI trade show that just happened at the end of February in Las Vegas. And you can get on-site cleanings. So even beyond, I think, being a Pro Support member, you can just get in line and they'll check your equipment in while you're at the trade show. They'll clean your cameras. They will clean your sensors. Obviously, on site like this, they can only do a few modest things like cleanings and checkings, and in some cases, maybe firmware upgrades. But it's nice, like if you're at this event, you can drop this off, go to the trade show. And if you're at other events, they support all sorts of other events, you know, public sporting events, things like that. So if you are a Pro Sony member, you can check out equipment, but they're on site to help support the professional photographer. Finally, just to wrap this up, how do you become a Sony Pro Support member? Well, first you need to go to Alpha Universe, so alphauniverse.com, which is Sony's website. And if you've never been there, there's a ton of really great information there where you can see all sorts of articles and things like that. So when you first get there, you want to go to the top nav bar and you want to go all the way over to gear, and then you want to go down to Pro Support. That will open up this page, and at the bottom, you click Apply. So there's also an arrow you see that I have there in the middle, and that's the terms and conditions. If you really want to read line by line of what everything's included, you click on that. It tells you everything. It's actually not too long of a document. So if you go in there, you can see all the benefits that you will receive as a Pro Service member. But if you're a Sony shooter, I really think this is a great option. It's just kind of like anything. We buy insurance for our cars, we buy insurance for our homes, things like that. So for $100 a year, you kind of have this nice peace of mind, and especially if you take advantage of the cleanings, it completely pays for itself. If you need a loaner when your product's down, it's a really, really great thing as a Sony owner. So I just wanted to jump on real quick and share that with you. Again, if you are already a Sony Pro Service member, you're going to get 6 months more on your membership this year without having to pay another $100 because of the COVID-19. So another added benefit that Sony's thrown out to its camera users and supporters. All right, I'm Robert Evans. Thank you again for watching The Pixel Show, and we will talk to you later.